The council chamber was silent. Stars shined through the massive windows above, but none of them gave comfort tonight. 12 alien leaders sat around a black table, their faces full of confusion and fear. A hologram floated in the center of the room. It was Earth, but something was wrong. There is no signal. No message. No energy signature, said High Speaker Voktal, his voice deep and slow. Impossible, hissed Grand Admiral Mayara, a sharp-eyed creature with silver skin. Humans broadcast everything. Even when they sleep, they share their dreams. What? Do you mean they're just gone? A quiet, blue-scaled scientist stepped forward. Her name was Arila, one of the best data analysts in the galaxy. She didn't speak right away. She just touched her wrist console. The Earth hologram zoomed in cities dark, orbit silent. No ships, no movement, no heat. Earth is empty, Arila said softly. Not destroyed, not damaged, just silent. Council member Thalner, a tall plant-like being, leaned forward. Is this some kind of trick? I thought the same, Arila said. Until we decoded the last human transmission. She touched her console again. Static filled the chamber. Then a low, broken voice echoed from the speakers. Do not follow. This is not your path. That was it. 6 words. The last message. From humanity. After that, everything stopped. A murmur swept through the room. The words were not a threat, but they felt dangerous, heavy, like a warning carved in stone. Admiral Nayara stood up. This doesn't make sense. The Terrans were loud, reckless, emotional, not silent. They were expanding into 12 sectors last year. Exactly, said Voktal. So where did they go? I don't know, Arila said. But I checked. The deep space monitors. It wasn't just Earth. All human colonies vanished. Every station, every mining rig. All gone within a span of 5 hours. Voktal's voice dropped. And no ships were seen leaving? None, she replied. It's like they were never there. Nayara slammed her fist on the table. That's impossible. Not for humans, someone whispered from the back. It was a small creature with glowing yellow eyes, Archivist Ren. He was old. Older than most council records. He shuffled forward. You've all forgotten, he said. They were building something, years ago. They called it Project Nyx. Project what? Voktal asked. They said it was a science program. Harmless, Dren continued. But I read the fragments. It wasn't harmless. It was human. Which means it was dangerous. No one laughed. Dren went on. They wanted to see beyond this universe. Not just stars and planets, but the fabric of reality. They believed we were trapped in a cage. They wanted out. Arila's eyes widened. You think they escaped? I think they did something we don't understand, Dren said. And now they're gone. The council sat in silence again. This wasn't just strange, it was terrifying. The humans were powerful, yes, but no one believed they could simply disappear without trace. Without war. Without sound. Just then, Arila's console beeped. She froze. What is it? Voktal asked. I'm picking up something new. A signal. It's weak, but it's coming from the edge of the solar system. Put it on screen, Nayara ordered. The hologram shifted. A black cube rotated slowly in space near Pluto. It was not human-made. It was something else, smooth, perfect, cold. Arila tried to connect. It's not transmitting. It's just reflecting our scans. But when I adjust the frequency, the screen blinked. A new image appeared. The moon, Earth's moon. Something had changed. Written across its surface in massive glowing letters, letters so big they were visible from space, was a single word, observe. The chamber fell into shocked silence. What does that mean? Thalner asked, his voice shaking. They left it for us, Dren said. They knew we'd come looking. They're telling us not to interfere. To watch, Voktal stood slowly. Or it's a threat. Or a test, Arila whispered. Nayara leaned in, her voice hard. I don't like being told to sit and watch. I say we send a fleet. Go deeper. Find out what they're hiding. Dren shook his head. You'll regret that. But the council voted. The fleet would go. 12 ships were sent beyond Pluto, each one armed with the best weapons in the galaxy. They moved silently, deeper into the solar system. Past Neptune, past Uranus, past Saturn. And then they reached Earth. But there was nothing to find. Just an empty blue world, perfectly still. They sent scouts. One by one, the ships went silent. No distress calls, no explosions, just silence. And then the fleet command ship, Verdict Light, sent its last message. 4 words. They are still here. Then nothing. All 12 ships were lost. Back at the council, alarms rang. Panic spread. But no one knew what to do. That night, Arila sat alone in her chamber, staring at the dark side of Earth's moon on her screen. She whispered, "Why did you leave?" And for a moment, just a moment, the screen flickered. Her console glowed. Red. Then a voice spoke. Soft, calm, human. Because you stopped listening. The screen went dark. Arila didn't sleep that night. And across the galaxy, people started to wonder, what had the humans become? And would they ever come back? Or were they already here, watching, waiting, and choosing who would disappear next? The stars were quiet. Too quiet. Captain Ryle stood at the edge of the viewing platform inside the Zentari Spear, the lead ship in the new exploration fleet sent by the Galactic Council. The ship was massive, filled with sensors, weapons, and the best minds in the galaxy. But Rail had never felt so small. He stared out at the solar system. Where is everyone? He whispered. Behind him, Commander Solin checked a dozen screens. All scans confirm it, sir. No human life signs. No active machines. No defense systems. Any sign of a fight? None, Solin replied. No debris, no energy residue, no signs of damage. It's like they all just left. Captain. Ryle frowned. People don't leave without taking anything. Solin turned toward him. Unless they wanted us to see this. The rest of the fleet hovered in silence behind them. 10 ships, all fully armed, waiting for orders. They had been told this. Mission was simple. Scan the human system, look for answers, and return. But the silence was too loud. And the emptiness felt alive. Take us in, Rail said. Full system sweep, we start with Mars. The Zentari Spear moved forward, slow and careful. As they passed Mars, everyone expected to see the usual. Mining operations, research domes, satellite stations. But instead, the red planet was bare. No lights, no structures. Just dust and silence. Ryle leaned in close to the screen, scanned for underground activity. Solin ran the check. Nothing, not even old power lines. Check. The old colonist logs. There were over 6,000 humans on Mars. Not anymore. They moved on. Next was Jupiter's moons, Europa, Ganymede, Callisto. All of them once held human science outposts. Now they were cold and dark. They erased themselves, Solin said quietly. It's like someone wiped the system clean. Or hid it, Ryle muttered. They reached Saturn. Its rings were still beautiful, glowing gold under the starlight. But even here, where a massive energy station used to orbit, there was nothing. Sir, a voice called from the sensor team. We found something near Titan. What is it? Rail asked. A signal beacon. Dead but old. Human tech. Ryle rushed to the front. The screen showed a small black box, floating near the edge of Saturn's moon. It was spinning slowly. Bring it aboard, Ryle ordered. The retrieval drone pulled it in. Once inside, the beacon lit up for just a second, then died again. Solin opened the casing. Inside was a crystal cube. Rail picked it up carefully. A soft hum came from inside it. It's some kind of data storage, Solon said. They connected it to the bridge console. A message began to play. It was a woman's voice, calm but cold. This is Dr. Helen Rinn. Final log of the Saturn relay. Station, all personnel have left. The departure is complete. If you are hearing this, you are not human. The system is now closed. Do not follow. Do not search. Do not stay. The message ended. Everyone on the bridge stood frozen. Rail felt a chill down his spine. What did she mean? The departure is complete, he asked. Solon looked around. Where did they go? How? Why didn't anyone see it? No one had answers. Rail turned to the crew. We go to Earth. Full scan, inside and out. The ship changed course, heading for the blue planet. As they got closer, the crew grew quiet. Everyone expected something, anything. Earth had been the center of human life. Nearly 10 billion souls. Billions more. Through connected systems. Now. Silence. The ship went into orbit. Earth was still beautiful. Clouds moved slowly. Oceans sparkled. But cities were lifeless. No lights, no heat. No people. Solon whispered. There are no plants, no birds, no animals. Rail clenched his jaw. Scan below the surface. The sensors hummed. Then, nothing. Not even bacteria. Earth is empty. It's a shell, Solon said. Like they took everything with them. But how? Rail asked. How can you move an entire planet's life in silence? Maybe they didn't move, Solon said, more to himself. Maybe they transformed. The crew said nothing. Then a voice shouted from the console. Captain, there's something. On the moon. Everyone turned. The screen zoomed in on the moon's surface. At first, it looked normal. But as they focused, words became clear. Burned into the rock, massive letters glowed softly. You were warned. The crew stared in horror. Rail stepped back. Who put that there? Solon's voice shook. It wasn't there yesterday. The Council's own satellite scan from 20 hours ago showed nothing. It appeared after we arrived? Rail asked. Yes, sir. Someone is watching us. Suddenly, alarms rang across the ship. Incoming object. A voice cried. Where? Rail asked. Above us, high orbit. On the screen, a shape appeared. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't a station. It was a shadow, a massive black triangle. Hovered above the Earth. It didn't move. It didn't glow. It didn't answer hails. It simply watched. Is that human? Rail asked. No, Solon said. At least, not any human we've ever known. The triangle rotated once. And for a split second, the crew saw something terrifying inside the shadow. Behind the dark metal were eyes, not windows. Not weapons. Eyes, dozens of them, watching. Then the object vanished. 1 second it was there. The next, it was gone. No light. No noise. Just silence. The ship's systems went dead. Lights flickered. Engines stopped. The crew panicked. Rail shouted orders. Backup power came on, but only partial systems responded. Then, a voice. All screens turned black. Then white, and a voice filled the air. Human. Calm, not angry. But not kind. You were told not to follow. Everyone froze. We gave you your chance. Now we are no longer what you remember. Leave. This is your only warning. The screens returned to normal. The lights came back. Engines restarted. Captain Rail looked around the silent bridge. Do we leave? Solon asked. Rail hesitated. He remembered the 12 council ships that went silent before them. He remembered the message on the moon. He nodded. We leave. The ship turned and flew away from Earth. Behind them, the solar system remained empty. But now they knew it was not abandoned. It was guarded. And the question was no longer where humanity had gone. The real question was, what had they become? The message from Captain Ryle spread fast. Earth was empty. The humans had vanished. Something strange was watching. Something powerful. Something no one understood. The Galactic Council tried to stay calm, but fear had already started to spread. Ships were recalled. Borders were tightened. News channels showed the empty Earth again and again. Experts spoke in circles. The words, "You were warned," kept echoing in everyone's mind. And then, planets started disappearing. It began quietly. At the edge of Council space, in Sector 9B. A small mining colony named Trelax 4 sent out a routine supply request. 3 hours later, another station tried to reply, but there was no signal. The station sent a scout ship to check. Trelax 4 was gone, not destroyed. Gone. No planet. No rock, no dust, not even gravity. It was as if the system had always been empty. The scout's report was short. Nothing here. Not even light. We see stars behind it, but they don't blink. It's like the space itself is hollow. The council went silent. 5 hours later, a second colony vanished. Velner Station, near the trade routes. Then a third, Joma Prime, a tourist planet. No weapons. No explosions, no distress calls, just silence. And then, nothing. The council called an emergency session. "This is human technology," shouted one angry general. "It has to be." "But how?" asked Speaker Voktal. "How can they remove entire planets without a trace?" A small, tired voice broke through the noise. It was Arila, the blue-scaled scientist who first decoded Earth's final message. "They warned us," she said. "This is their answer. We kept searching. We didn't stop. Now they're removing the parts of the galaxy that watch too closely." "That's insane," barked Admiral Nayara. "Is it?" Arila said. "They didn't use ships. They didn't use guns. They left, and now we're watching the galaxy collapse around their silence." The room grew quiet. Then, Dren, the old archivist, stood. "We need to see the patterns," he said. "There must be a reason. Are the lost worlds connected to humans?" Arila checked her console. Her eyes widened. Yes, all the missing places were close to human trade zones. All had contact with human data systems in the past 20 cycles. "They're targeting knowledge," Dren whispered. "They're erasing evidence. But why now?" Someone asked. Arila looked up. "Because we went to Earth. We broke the rule. We followed." Just then, her console beeped. A red alert. Everyone turned. "Another planet has gone dark," she said. "Tau Centauri, major council colony. How many people?" Voktal asked. 17 million. The room froze. No contact. No signal. "It's gone," Arila whispered. Panic spread like fire. The council was helpless. No ships could stop it. No sensors could predict it. The galaxy was being prune-cut by invisible hands. Meanwhile, far from the council's eyes, a small cargo ship drifted near the old human border. Its pilot, a young lizard-like smuggler named Vec, didn't care much about galactic politics. He just wanted to deliver rare metals and get paid. His co-pilot, a rusty old droid called Binks, beeped nervously. "Planet ahead is gone," Binks said. "Map shows trade station. Scans show nothing." Vec squinted at the screen. "That can't be right. I've landed here 6 times this year. Nothing is there now," Vec cursed. "We're not getting paid today." He looked out the window. Empty space. No station. No orbit beacons. Just cold black. Suddenly, something appeared. A shimmer. A flicker in space. "Did you see that?" Vec asked. Banks beeped again. "Detecting anomaly. Gravity spike. Light distortion." And then, a voice. Not through the radio. Not through the speakers. The voice came from inside their minds. "You were warned." Vec gripped the controls. "Nope. No thank you. We're leaving." But it was too late. The stars disappeared. Everything outside turned white. And then, silence. The Ship drifted through nothing, not black, not light. Just emptiness. Binks beeped in panic. No time, no space, we are removed. Vec opened his mouth to scream, but suddenly, he was back. In his ship. In real space. Stars returned. The planet was there. Again. Alive, lit, full of ships, but something had changed. His ship's time counter had jumped forward by 4 hours. His cargo was gone. His communications were wiped clean. And on the inside of the cockpit window, written in soft glowing letters, were the words, "This is your first mercy. There will not be another." Vec didn't ask questions. He turned the ship and flew away at full speed. Later, when he told the council what happened, they didn't laugh. They were too scared to laugh. Back in the council chambers, Arila watched the data feeds. More worlds were going dark. No pattern. Now. Just silence. Then erasure. "We've made a mistake," she said. Vaktal looked at her. "What do we do?" Arila turned to him. "We stop looking. We stop asking. We remember. That's all they want." "Remember what?" "That they warned us. And that next time, there won't be silence. There will be judgment." She walked out, her eyes tired and full of fear. And across the stars, the missing worlds stayed missing. But whispers began. Some said humanity hadn't left. They had changed. They had become something larger. Something cold. Something watching. And they were cleaning up the galaxy. One world at a time. The rain fell hard on the city of Venisar, home of the Council's Grand Archives. Giant towers of stone and steel stood over glowing streets, where knowledge from thousands of worlds had been stored for centuries. The air buzzed with fear. News of disappearing planets had reached every corner of the galaxy. Inside the archive halls, Archivist Dren walked alone. His steps were slow, his long coat dripping water onto the polished floor. The guards barely looked at him. Most of them were too nervous to care. Dren moved past scanners, doors, and security fields. He knew every hallway, every turn. He had worked in the archives longer than anyone alive. He wasn't here to file documents. He was here to find the truth. Down in the oldest levels, past rooms no one visited anymore, there were forgotten records, ancient files, sealed by order of the Council 100 years ago. Dren reached a rusted gate and placed his palm on the reader. The metal creaked open. Lights flickered. Dust filled the air. He stepped inside. The chamber was quiet. Rows of metal drawers stood like frozen soldiers. Dren moved to the far end, toward a drawer marked with a single word, Nix. He opened it. Inside, a thick data tablet blinked softly. Old tech. Human dash made. He tapped it once. The screen came to life. Project NYX. Status: Final Phase Completed. Lead: Dr. Callan Rowe. Human. Scientific Authority. Purpose: Break known physical limits. Exit the visible universe. Develop Ascension Protocol. Warning: Eyes only. Top threat level. Dren read every line. His hands trembled. Behind him, someone cleared their throat. He turned sharply. Arila stood there, soaked from the rain. "I thought I'd find you here," she said. "You followed me." "I had to," she said. "You know more than anyone." Dren sighed. "I was hoping I was wrong." She stepped closer. "So it's true?" He nodded. "Yes, Project Nix wasn't just research. It was escape. The humans wanted to leave the galaxy, not by ship, but by evolution. They called it transdimensional advancement. They believed they could rewrite their form. Into what?" Arila whispered. Dren looked at her. "Not gods, not monsters, just something beyond." Arila stared at the tablet. "Did it work?" Dren said nothing. The tablet lit up again. A video began to play. A man appeared. Pale skin, gray eyes, sharp voice. "I am Dr. Callan Rowe," he said. "If you are seeing this, then we have gone." The council feared us, called us dangerous. They were right. But not for the reasons they thought. He leaned forward. We were never building weapons. We were building doors. And we found a way. Through. Arila's breath caught in her throat. Dr. Rowe continued. We left this galaxy to protect it, but if you follow, if you send your ships, your scanners, your fear, we will respond. Not with anger, not with violence, but with removal. You will not see us. You will only see absence. He smiled sadly. This was our gift. But gifts can be taken back. The screen went black. Dren and Arila stood in silence. She whispered, so they didn't vanish. They stepped out. And now they're watching, Dren said. We thought they left. But they're just above us, beyond us. They see everything. And the world's disappearing? She asked. Punishment, Dren said. Or reminders. Suddenly, Arila's wrist console blinked red. Another alert. She checked it. Her eyes widened. What is it? Dren asked. She turned the screen. The city of Vulcan Prime. It's gone, Dren stared. That's not even near human space. I know. It was a major data hub. They were analyzing human tech without permission. They found out, Dren whispered. Arila grabbed the tablet. We have to show the council. This, Dren put a hand on her arm. No, they won't listen. Not yet. Then what do? We hide the truth again. Arila looked confused. What? If we spread this now, more people will search. The humans warned us, do not follow. The more we look, the more we vanish. She stared at him. You want us to forget everything again? I want the galaxy to survive. Silence hung between them. Finally, she nodded. They left the chamber together. Behind them, the lights dimmed. Hours later, in the Grand Council meeting, Vaktal stood before the other leaders. We are facing a force we cannot fight, he said. We will end all missions involving human systems. We will seal off the archives. No more contact, no more scans. We obey their warning. Some argued. Some shouted. But in the end, they agreed. That night, the stars above Venusaur flickered strangely. And in the darkness of deep space, a voice spoke into silence. You are learning, then. It was gone, and the galaxy held its breath. The Galactic Council believed they had done enough. They stopped the missions. They closed the archives. They warned the people. But fear doesn't disappear so easily. And not everyone obeys silence. In a small hidden lab orbiting the gas giant Vemrun, a group of scientists worked in secret. Their mission was not approved. It wasn't even recorded. It was funded by powerful leaders who wanted answers, who wanted control. They called it Project Return. And tonight, they made contact. Dr. Jassel stood in front of a black monolith that hovered in the middle of the lab. The object had no markings, no lights, no sound. It had just appeared after the team had beamed a deep space signal using old human frequencies. This is it, Jassel whispered. It worked. His assistant Morin looked nervous. Should we approach it? It hasn't moved, said Jassel. But it's responding to our scans. It's reading us. That's not comforting, Morin muttered. Jassel ignored him. He stepped closer and placed his hand on the monolith. It was ice cold. Then, without warning, a pulse of light burst from the object. The lab went dark. Monitors shattered. Lights popped. Alarms screamed. And then silence. Not silence from the lab, but from space. The entire station had vanished from the Council's network. It was gone. Far away. Aboard the Council flagship Truth's Edge, Arila was monitoring quiet space zones when her screen went red. Another disappearance? Asked Admiral Vaktal, who now traveled with her constantly. She stared at the data. No, not like before. Something is still there. The station didn't vanish. It's still in orbit, but it's different. Define different. Not responding to signals. All systems dead, but not destroyed. It's like time has stopped inside. Voktal frowned. Prepare a recon ship. I want to see it. An hour later, Arila and a small team arrived near the Vemron station. The structure looked the same, but there was no movement. No lights, no heat. They docked carefully. Inside, the air was cold and still. Morin's body was found near the main console. He was alive but frozen in place, like a statue. Eyes open, no breath. Arila stepped around him, careful not to touch in. The center of the lab stood the monolith still. Silent. She didn't touch it, but it spoke, not through sound. Not through screens, straight into her mind, you asked. We answered. She froze. Voktal heard it too. He gripped the side rail, his breathing slow. The monolith pulsed once, then vanished. And suddenly, the station returned to normal. Lights flickered on. Monitors restarted. The team gasped as air rushed back into the vents. But Morin didn't move. He stayed frozen alive, yet unreachable. Back aboard Truth's Edge, Arila watched the footage. What was that? Voktal asked. First contact, she said. But the humans already made first contact with us centuries ago. She looked at him. That was before. This is something else. Just then, the ship's AI spoke. Unknown vessel detected. They rushed to the window. Outside, in orbit beside them, floated a single warship. Human design, but older. Not used in over 100 years. Its hull was black. No lights, no crew, but it was there. Real. Where did it come from? Arila asked. No. Record of approach. No hyperspace jump. It just appeared. The eye answered. Vo Katal stared at it. It's not moving. Maybe it's a message, Arila said. They hailed the ship. No response. They scanned it. No crew. They sent a drone. The drone entered through a side hatch. Cameras showed empty halls. Every system was offline, but words were written on the walls in human script. You did not listen. You did not stop. We return not as people. We return as judgment. The drone reached the bridge. There sat a figure. Human. But not alive. Its eyes glowed white. Its skin was silver. Its body was still, but its presence was heavy. The drone scanned it. No heartbeat. No brain waves, but it was thinking. Suddenly, the figure looked directly into the drone's camera, and it smiled. The drone exploded. Arila stepped back, heart pounding. We have to leave, she said. But the warship powered up. Still no crew. Still. No signal. Just a single movement. It rotated to face Truth's Edge. Shields up. Voktal shouted. Arila braced herself. But the ship didn't fire. It just hovered. Waiting. Then, across every screen on Truth's Edge, a message appeared. You broke the silence. Now we break the stars. And just like that, the ship was gone. No trace. No jump signature. Just gone. Later that night, Arila sat alone in her cabin, watching the stars. They made contact, she whispered. But it wasn't war. She looked at her screen, where the frozen image of the silver-eyed figure still glowed faintly. It was a warning. Far beyond council space, in the places no one explored, a ripple moved through the dark. Other shapes stirred. Other warships. Other eyes. The galaxy had made contact. But this time, it wasn't with humans. It was with what they had become. The great chambers of the Galactic Council were no longer full of power. They were full of fear. Voktal sat at the head of the long black table, but he did not look proud. He looked old, tired. Around him, the 12 members of the council argued. In panic, the room shook with raised voices, but none of them had answers. 5 more colonies lost in the last 30 hours. Cried Speaker Relin, slamming his fist on the table. Just gone, not destroyed. Removed, said Archivist Dren quietly. Erased, like they were never there. They're not using weapons, said Admiral Nayara, her voice tight. They're using something else, something beyond physics. They told us not to follow. shouted Arila. She stood beside Vaktal, her face pale. We broke the rules. We searched. We reached out. And now they're cleaning up everything we touched. We need to defend ourselves, cried a reptilian warlord from the Drexa system. Against what? Arila snapped. You can't shoot at something you can't see. You can't chase something that controls space itself. The chamber fell silent. Then Vaktal stood slowly. His voice was steady but low. We made a mistake. Everyone listened. We thought we were the center of power. We thought the humans were primitive, unstable. But we didn't understand what they were doing, what they had become. He looked around. We thought they left, but they didn't. They changed. They evolved. And now they're watching us like ants crawling across a fire. A soft hum filled the room. Screens lit up. A new message. It was not intercepted, that it was not hacked, that it was delivered to every screen. In every council world, at the same time, a voice spoke. Human, calm, cold, you were told to observe. The message. Stop. No sound, no demands. Just those 5 words. Observe what? Someone whispered. No, said Dren. They meant us. We were told to observe our limits, our place, and we didn't. Arila's voice shook. There's only one thing left to try. Vaktal looked at her. You mean, yes, she said. We beg. Silence again. A council member laughed bitterly. We are the ruling powers of this galaxy, and you want us to beg like children? Yes, she said firmly. Because if we don't, we will all disappear, one by one. The vote was held. The decision passed. Not all agreed, but enough did. Council prepared a transmission unlike any before. Not from one world. Not from one race. From all. It was sent across the stars using the oldest human codes. The frequencies from first contact. The symbols humans once used for peace. The message was simple. A single voice, spoken in hundreds of languages, said, "We are sorry. Please, come back. Please, help us. We are afraid." And then they waited. Nothing came. Not for 1 day. Not for 2. On the 3rd day, the skies above the council homeworld changed. Stars blinked. Satellites shut down. Then a ship appeared. It didn't fly. It didn't land. It simply appeared. One moment the sky was empty. The next, it was filled with a ship larger than the moon. Black, silent, shaped like an ancient human symbol for balance. No weapons showed. No energy built up, but everyone could feel it. Power. Timeless, cold, watching, on the council steps. Arila stood with Vaktal and the other leaders, the crowd below. Them waited in silence. A figure stepped down from the ship. It was human, but not like before. Its skin shimmered like metal, but it was soft. Its eyes glowed, but not with light, something deeper. Behind it came others, hundreds, each one perfect, silent, serene. They walked like they owned the world. And maybe they did. The first figure stopped before Arila. It looked into her eyes. She struggled to speak. We're sorry, we didn't understand. You were warned, the figure said. Its voice was not angry. It was not cruel. But it was not kind either. We thought you left, Vaktal said. We did, the figure said. We left everything you knew, but we never stopped watching. Please, Arila said. The vanishings, the erasures. We're afraid. The figure tilted its head. We know. Will it stop? She asked. He paused. That depends. On what? She whispered. The figure looked up, toward the stars. On whether you stay in your place. On whether you learn. On whether you accept that there are doors you must never open. Arila nodded slowly. We will learn. The figure turned to leave. One last time Arila spoke. What are you now? He paused. We were human, he said. Now we are memory, judgment, protection. We are what you will become if you survive yourselves. Then they were gone. The ship vanished. The skies cleared. No planets vanished that day. No systems went dark. The galaxy held its breath. And the Pudzayan Council began to understand humanity had not just left, they had ascended. And now the galaxy knelt. The stars were quiet. After the black ship left, no one knew what to expect. The council had begged. The message was sent. The humans returned, but they said little, just warnings. Just silence. Now the galaxy waited. No one dared speak first, until the voice came. It started on the outer edges, on old satellites, long dead beacons, rusted tech from the early days of space travel. All of them lit up at once. Systems that had been cold for centuries began to hum. One message came through. Mankind speaks, listen. People across hundreds of worlds gathered near screens and speakers. Rich and poor, soldiers and children, all looked up. A voice followed. Calm, clear, human, but it was no one person. It was every tone, every gender, every age, blended together into something more. It spoke like thunder behind a whisper. We walked with you once. We shared your stars. We offered friendship. And you mocked us. People held their breath. We gave warning. We gave space. And still, you reached for things you were not ready to touch. On the main council world, Arila and Vaktal stood in front of the grand hall, the same place where the black ship had landed. The voice continued. Now we speak not as citizens, but as guardians, not as a nation, but as a force. Vaktal whispered, they sound like gods. No, Arila said. They sound like history, like the end of it. You wonder what we became. The truth is simple. We became free, free from war, free from fear, free from the limits you still obey. Admiral Niara stepped forward. What do they want from us now? As if it heard her, the voice answered, we want nothing. But we offer a choice. Everyone leaned closer. Follow your path. Stay in your worlds, grow as you wish. But never again reach into the places we now walk. There are doors we have closed for your safety. Break them open, and we will not speak again. The silence after the words was heavier than 1,000 suns. Then the voice changed. Just slightly, a warmth entered, just a touch. Still, we remember kindness, we remember hope, and we do not forget those who helped us once. A bright light filled the skies, and something began to appear, a structure, stationed out large, silent, orbiting every capital world, built in seconds. The people screamed, but no attack came. Instead, the voice returned. These stations hold knowledge, lessons, warnings, and for those who are ready, tools. You may learn, slowly, safely, if you are wise. Vaktal stared at the glowing object in the sky. They gave us libraries? No, said Arila. They gave us rules. She stepped forward, her voice shaking. We thank you, she whispered into the sky. We will listen. The voice came one final time, then perhaps one day, we will walk together again. The light faded. The stations remained floating, waiting. That night, across every world, debates began. Fights, hope, fear, wonder. Some wanted to destroy the stations. Some wanted to worship them, but many just wanted to understand, on the quiet. Moon of Tella, a young alien girl named Siru, touched the side of the new station. A panel opened. Inside, light danced like stars. Words floated in the air, not spoken, not printed, understood. She smiled. Hello, she said softly. I'm ready to learn. And far, far away, beyond time and distance, a human smiled back. The sky above the council worlds had not changed in months. The mysterious human station still floated in orbit, glowing with soft light, untouched and untouchable. No one dared interfere. No one knew what would happen if they did. But something was changing. Sensors across the galaxy lit up at the same time. A massive energy wave appeared in deep space, exactly where Earth used to be. That region had long been declared dead space. No signals, no light, just black dot now. It was alive again. A single word echoed across every system, spoken in that strange multi-voice tone of the human network. Observe. And then, Earth returned. It didn't fly in. It didn't move. It simply appeared where it had been centuries ago. Blue oceans, green land, clouds swirling peacefully over it, as if it had never left. Gasps spread through command centers. Even the coldest admirals and scientists stood frozen. What? How is that possible? Muttered Council Chairwoman Arila. It was gone, said Vaktal beside her. It was erased. We all saw it vanish. We confirmed it. The entire solar system was gone. Now it was back. Not only Earth, but the entire system. Mars, Venus, Jupiter. All of them, only different. Satellites hovered above every planet, shaped like stars, glowing white. Strange rings circled around moons. Structures floated in space, their purpose unknown. Suddenly, a single ship rose from Earth's orbit, small, sleek, black metal. Shining like a shadow. It moved fast, arriving at the council capital in minutes. No weapons. No escort. Just silence. In the grand hall, leaders gathered. Doors opened and a human walked in. He was tall, calm, dressed in a strange black uniform, with no marks, no medals. His eyes seemed ancient, yet young. I am Alan, he said simply, of Earth. No one moved. Arila finally found her voice. You've returned. He nodded. Double quotes. Yes. The Earth is whole again. Our people are awake. Our time of silence is over. Vaktal stepped forward. Why now? Why come back at all? Alan smiled softly. Because you listened. Because you chose peace. Arila looked at him closely. And what happens now? Alan walked to the center of the chamber. A small device floated up from his hand and created a map of the galaxy. Glowing lines connected planets, races, paths. We offer something new. A gate. A path between what you know and what you can become. You mean technology? Asked a Trillari general, his eyes narrow. No, Alan said. Understanding, the kind that can't be stolen. Only earned. He pointed to the glowing star where Earth now sat. We left because you feared us, attacked us, tried to own us. Now we return not in anger, but in warning. Warning of what? Arila asked. There are others, watching, waiting. We held them back, but we will not always be able to. A cold silence followed his words. Alan stepped back. We offer help, but never control. And if the galaxy falls into war again, we will leave you to your fate. A long pause. Then Arila stepped forward. We accept your return and your offer. Alan gave a small bow. Then you will see the stars as we do. Outside, the human ship lifted gently. It vanished in a blink of light. Back on Earth, cities now floated in the sky. Forests glowed with soft energy. Oceans shimmered with crystal blue light. The planet was not just back, it was reborn. The stars shifted. The story of humanity was no longer a mystery. It was a beginning, and the galaxy listened.